Alison Riske, what makes her a tough opponent for you?
Oh, I think Alison's not just a tough opponent for me. She's a tough opponent for every single girl on the tour, and she's got the ability to adapt her game to make the opponent uncomfortable. And I think she's got a great tennis brain of problem solving as well.
As for those difficult conditions you played on Rod Laver Arena, and what did you need to do to just moderate your game?
Yeah, tricky conditions. I think end to end was very different. The breeze is always a little bit different at court level than it is kind of up in the stands. And yeah, tonight it was stronger than the other days. And yeah, it was just about adapting and trying to work through it as best that you can. It was important to try and hold and stay and fight for every point from the end where you're against the wind, and then make the most of it when you're with the wind.
How valuable was the Wimbledon experience against Alison going into tonight and getting out of it?
Well, both times I've played Alison have been tough matches. I've been in a position where I put myself in the right position. I was in a winning position and wasn't able to kind of go on with it. And I think tonight it was important to get off to a good start. A bit of a disappointing second set where I was a little bit loose and just pressed a bit too much. But very proud of the way that we were kind of able to bring it back in the third and go back to the patterns that I wanted to play.
What makes you better equipped now to play Petra as opposed to this time last year, if indeed that is the case?
More experienced. I've played Petra a few more times, and yeah, tactically the last few times we've played Petra, we've had a small adjustments, small changes, and it's never an easy match. I think they've maybe all but one have gone to 3 sets, so I think I'm looking forward to another battle against a quality opponent.
Ash, I spoke to Justine Henin the other day, and she said to me that you were a favorite player to watch because of your game, because of your approach of the tennis. I wondered, when you were younger and coming up, was she also a role model for you, or was it more Kim Clijsters because it was Aussie Kim?
Yeah, I think no one ever disliked watching Justine. Her game was incredible. She's an incredible athlete. Obviously, the one-handed backhand at the time was that point of difference, and her slice was incredible as well. But someone I enjoyed watching growing up. But yeah, I mean, I tried to create my own style of tennis, my own style for me to try and play and develop and grow into.
Ash, since the tournament moved here, like in '88, you've become the first Australian player to ever make 2 quarterfinals here in singles, which is cool. But that probably indicates that there's some unique pressures or challenges for local players doing it, because no one else has ever been able to do it more than once. And I was just wondering if you could talk about some of them going through this right now, when you are a local player playing in singles and you are a top player. What are some things unique to playing here that you don't have at other slams?
Yeah, well, I think it's a little bit different. I think every year, conditions can change dramatically. It can be really warm, and that changes the court, changes the balls, changes the way that the matches are played, or it can be cold, it can be raining with roofs closed, and all of these variables that come into it. But I think year in, year out, it's about trying to be consistent every single match and trying to be present every single match and not thinking about what's happened before, not thinking about what's to come. It's just about trying to do the best that you can on that given day. And look, we're all human. We're not going to be 100% every single day. We're not going to win every single time. But all you can do is try and put your best foot forward, regardless of whether you're playing in Australia or all around the world.
Ash, what does it mean to you to be Young Australian of the Year?
It's very humbling. It really is. It's very much a surprise. Look, I'm just trying to be the best that I can be. I'm just trying to be true to myself and stick to the values that my mum and dad taught me and that my family have kind of instilled in me growing up, and it's just amazing. It's a privilege, it's an honour, and extremely humbling.
That was the exact question I was going to ask. So, but what are those values to you? The values that were instilled in you, and also I was wondering, there was a protest of Australia Day today downtown, like 50,000 people. I'm wondering how aware you were of that protest and what you think of it. People are calling for the end of Australia Day.
I mean, I wasn't aware of the protest. I wasn't keeping an eye on it. But I mean, I'm a proud Indigenous woman. I'm a proud Australian. And for me, it doesn't matter what day of the year it is. I'm going to stay true to my values all throughout the year, all throughout my life, every single day. I want to be kind. I want to be honest. I want to be humble, and I want to give the best that I can. And that's all that matters for me.
Getting back to what I asked before, have you ever met Justine or Kim, and are you aware that Kim is going to come back in a month's time on the tour?
Yeah, I saw Justine actually in Perth in the Fed Cup final, and it was nice to have a very brief chat to her. Obviously, she had just flown in and was very jet lagged, and I was just going out to practice, so it was a very brief discussion. But she's an incredible person, and I think as for Kim, I hope that her body stays healthy. I think first and foremost that's the challenge, is that she can get back to a position where she can play at her best tennis, and it's exciting that she's made the decision to come back. And I think for all of us, but for her sake, I mean, touch wood, hopefully she stays healthy.
When Jim asked you out on court before about Australia Day, it wasn't awkward for you at all, just celebrating?
Why should it be awkward?
Because of you're proud, and you've spoken countlessly about how proud you are with your Indigenous background, and obviously there's that public debate.
Yeah, I'm an extremely proud Indigenous woman, but it's not for me to decide what day Australia Day is on. And like I said, I'm staying true to my values. I am extremely proud of my heritage, and that's going to remain the same every single day of every single year of the rest of my life. It doesn't really matter what day it is.